Hey guys, welcome back to Vedantu's JEE channel. All my JEE 2020 aspirants, guys, I know the top clock is running and you guys are eagerly waiting for a quick revision and very important questions is what you want to solve for. So guys, this particular video involves all the important concepts and important questions with respect to JEE examination. So have a look at this. I'm sure this should be sufficient for you to have a quick revision and a good practice for this particular unit. Yes, mind you, Mechanics 1 is everything ranging from motion in one dimension till rotation gravitation. I hope this will be helpful.
So, as you all know, during this time, if you want to study at home, all you have to do is visit this link, which is also available in the description of this video. Okay, guys, you know that now all the content is available for you. All you have to do is just visit the link. Okay, and next step is select your grade, target the examination that target exam that you are studying for, and all the premium courses are now available for all of you for free. Okay, so there should not be any hurdle between you and your aim. That's why we are here to help you out. Okay, all you have to do is enroll and then you are in. Okay, cool. So guys, this is something which I would request you to tell your friends, your siblings, your cousins, everybody who's at home stuck, not able to go to school or classes, everybody who's preparing from standard 1 to 12th, whoever is studying, you have an opportunity to help them out with us. Okay, guys. So do spread this initiative. Let people know about this. Okay. All you can do is just visit this link and find out more details. Okay, so guys, if you're here on Vedantu's channel for the first time, yes, do share, do subscribe to the channel. Okay, and if you're enjoying the session so far, and if you will, then do like the video as well. Okay, cool, guys. So let's start. Start करते हैं. First thing is 1D motion. Okay, so if you just want to understand what are we covering in mechanics, we are covering 1D motion. After this, the topic will be laws of motion, work par energy, center of mass collision, and rotation motion and gravitation. These are the topics that we'll be covering today. Okay, session should go around 2 hours minimum. Okay, so guys, let's start off with the theory for uniform motion, and that is for a body which is moving in a straight line. If the motion is uniform, then we say that the body is moving with a uniform or fixed constant velocity, no change in the speed, no change in the direction. And in that case, the formula that you studied in 8th standard, that displacement is equal to velocity into time, that becomes valid here. Okay guys, जो फॉर्मूला हमने 8th स्टैंडर्ड में सीखा था, जो सबसे ज़्यादा डेंजरस फॉर्मूला है, मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ, रीजन बीइंग हमेशा ये फॉर्मूला अप्लाई नहीं करना होता है. दिस फॉर्मूला इज एप्लीकेबल ओनली व्हेन योर वेलोसिटी इज कांस्टेंट. Okay, and if velocity is constant, so obviously your acceleration will become zero. Okay, okay guys, yeah, so that was uniform motion. Next one is motion with uniformly accelerated motion, motion with constant acceleration. This is the case where your acceleration value remains constant. This is something that you started studying in the for the first time in 9th standard, you know that. And here the acceleration is constant. Okay, so guys, this is kind of a setting which we are using, on which half of the screen will be my face, half of the screen is the content. So do not worry, you will be able to read everything, you will be able to see everything which is written on the screen. Okay guys, screen का setting है, half screen पे you will be looking at your teacher like me, and half of the screen जो तुम्हें दिखाई दे रहा है, that is basically the content, that is what we'll be discussing here. Okay, everyone, so let's continue. Yeah, so guys, the formulas which are important here, first one is displacement formula, that is u plus v by 2 into t, that is initial velocity plus final velocity by 2, which is the average velocity here, into t. Okay, the other formula which you all know are the equations of motion. Okay, yeah, this is s is equal to ut plus half at square, and v square equal to u square plus 2as, and v equal to u plus at. I hope you already know these formulae, and apart from that, a very important formula is displacement covered in nth second, that is u plus 2n minus 1 a by 2. Okay, yeah, and remember, if body is retarding, then yes, a will be treated as negative. So वो अभी जब हम लोग question solve करेंगे, obviously we'll get to know that. Okay, I think yes, PDF will be available in the description of this video after the session, so don't worry. Yeah, okay guys, that was, first one was uniform motion, second is uniformly accelerated motion, and the third one is non-uniformly accelerated motion, when the acceleration of the object which is moving is also not a constant. Okay, when acceleration is also not constant, then what happens? If acceleration is a function of time, then acceleration, this is actually velocity. If it is a function of time, then acceleration is differentiation of velocity. If your velocity is a function of displacement, then acceleration will be v dv by ds, and if your acceleration is a function of velocity, then it is simply a dv by dt. Okay, this is how acceleration becomes a function of velocity. Okay, also अगर displacement as a function of time दिया हुआ है, तो v will be ds by dt. If you have velocity given as a function of time, then displacement can be found by integrating the velocity. Okay, and if acceleration is given as a function of time, तो हम integrate करेंगे तो हमें velocity मिल जाएगी. Okay guys, remember that. Okay, yep. Chalo, so let's start with the problem solving. Yep, let's start. So question says, question number 1, a stone falls freely under gravity. It covers distance h1, h2, h3 in the first 5 seconds, then next 5 seconds, and the next 5 seconds respectively. Then the relation between h1, h2, h3 is to be found. So basically your object is moving, and say it is moving in such a way that it is uniformly accelerating because it is moving under gravity, and we know that acceleration due to gravity is a constant. So this is your first 5-second displacement, that is h1. This is your second next 5 seconds h2, and next 5 seconds में the body is covering h3. Okay, yep, practice कर रहे हैं हम लोग questions. Okay, so guys, remember, when we are considering that the initial velocity is 0, then what happens here? If we calculate by using s is equal to ut plus half at square, तो यहाँ पे अगर मैं velocity को 0 पुट करता हूँ, सो h1 का वैल्यू आ जाएगा हाफ at स्क्वायर, फिर उसके बाद में h1 प्लस h2, और t का वैल्यू ऑब्वियसली इज 5. नेक्स्ट h1 प्लस h2 फाइंड आउट करना चाहिए. वी शुड नॉट फाइंड आउट h2 बिकॉज विल नीड द वेलोसिटी हियर. सो h1 प्लस h2 क्या हो जाएगा, बिकॉज इनिशियल वेलोसिटी फिर से हम लोग इनिशियली कंसिडर करेंगे विच इज 0. या so that will be half a into 2t का square, which is 4t square, and then h1 plus h2 plus h3 करेंगे, so that will be half a and total time 3t का square हो जाएगा. So whenever we divide uniformly accelerated motion into equal time intervals, कभी भी कोई object अगर uniformly accelerate कर रहा है और equal time intervals में उसके displacements का ratio अगर हम find out करते हैं h1 h2 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 h3, तो ये simplify करके अगर हम solve करेंगे, so that value will always come out to be in the ratio 1 is to 3 is to 5, which basically tells us that h1 is equal to h2 by 3. मतलब h1 का value जो है वो h2 से 1/3 है और h3 से 1/5 है. In this ratio, the value of displacement goes. I can see that majority people got the answer as well. Yes, that's the correct answer, guys. Option D is the correct answer here. Okay. Okay, guys, moving on to the next one. Next question says that a car accelerates from rest at a constant rate alpha for some time, after which it decelerates at a constant rate beta and then comes to rest. So if the total time elapsed is t, then the maximum velocity acquired by the car will be how much? Okay. तो इस क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करने का सबसे अच्छा तरीका होता है to use a graph, okay, and graph between velocity and time. Okay, guys, so if we draw a graph here, initially the body is starting from rest, so its velocity will increase at a rate alpha. It achieves the maximum velocity, and then after that it decelerates at a rate beta to come to rest again. Okay, that's what the question is saying. So if we look at the question says that the total time is t. तो हमें ये नहीं बताया कि ये कितना टाइम है, तो लेट्स कॉल इट टाइम t1 and this time as t2. Okay, guys, and this is our maximum velocity. Let's call that velocity as vm, and that is what we have to find out as well. So guys, this acceleration given as alpha and this deceleration is given as beta, and we all know that whenever a velocity time graph is given, the slope of that graph, velocity time graph, is basically acceleration. Okay, so ऐसे में if we look at alpha, so alpha is basically the ratio of the slope of the first graph. तो यहाँ से अगर slope find out करेंगे, so that is tan of this angle. This angle, if we look at this theta 1, so the slope of this graph comes out to be opposite upon adjacent, which is basically v by t1. So from here, t1 time comes out to be, okay, if we look at time t1, so time t1 का value हमें मिल जाता है v by alpha. ओके गाइस, सिमिलरली अगर दूसरा वाला ट्राइंगल लेते हैं जिसके लिए अगर मैं एंगल थीटा 2 डिफाइन कर देता हूं, सो दैट स्लोप इज बेसिकली बीटा एंड दैट वैल्यू विल बी opposite upon adjacent, that is, this is vm is what we are defining, right? So this is vm by t2, which means what, from here t2 comes out to be vm by beta. So what I've done, I've found the value of t1, I've found the value of t2. Now what I'll do, guys, because what is given to us is that t1 plus t2 का value is given to us as total time t, ये हमें दिया हुआ है. तो t1 और t2 हमने फाइंड आउट कर लिया, उसे यहाँ पुट कर देते हैं और सिंप्लीफाई कर देते हैं. सो t1 is vm by alpha and t2 is vm by beta, and this value is equal to t. So let's take it from here. vm common ले लेते हैं, and in the bracket you will have 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. That's what, on resolving, simplifying, alpha plus beta upon alpha beta is equal to t. So from here, maximum velocity during this journey comes out to be alpha beta t, taking this bracket on the right hand side, divided by alpha plus beta. Okay, everyone, so it tells us that the correct answer is option D. Okay, yes, I can see Neelam, Shireen, Anurag, Vijendra, everybody got the answer. Very nice, guys, very nice. Okay. Yep. क्वेश्चन डायमेंशन से भी हो सकता है. Okay, मूविंग ऑन गाइस, नेक्स्ट वन. अब नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन जो है, इट इज काइंड ऑफ रिलेटेड टू द प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन. रिमेंबर दैट वहां पे जो मैक्सिमम वेलोसिटी हमने फाइंड आउट की है वो है अल्फा बीटा टी अपॉन अल्फा प्लस बीटा. नाउ सिमिलर इज दिस क्वेश्चन. इस क्वेश्चन में बोला है कार एक्सेलरेट्स एट अ रेट ए and then decelerates at a rate 2a and then finally come to rest. Means previous question वाला ही ग्राफ है. So if the total time elapsed is t, then find out the total distance traveled. मतलब इस वाले क्वेश्चन में जो भी ये ट्राइंगल बन रहा है उसका एरिया फाइंड आउट करना है हमें. ठीक है गाइस, तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, यहाँ पे ग्राफ ड्रॉ कर देता हूँ और उसका एरिया फाइंड आउट करने की कोशिश करते हैं हम लोग. सो दिस इज वी एम, alpha is a, beta is 2a, and this total time is t. We know that the distance s will be equal to half into altitude into base, that means half into vm into t. तो vm find out करते हैं और put कर देते हैं. So alpha value is A, beta value, I'm using this formula guys, okay. So alpha is A, beta is 2A, and this is T divided by total A plus 2A, alpha plus beta. That gives me 2A square T by 3A. तो A से A cancel हो गया, so VA का वैल्यू आ गया 2AT by 3. ओके गाइस, अब VM का वैल्यू यहाँ पुट कर देते हैं, टोटल डिस्टेंस कवर्ड आ जाएगा. ओके, yep. So half VM is 2 by 3AT into T. So you can see 2 cancel हो रहा है. Finally the value that we are getting is 1 by 3 AT square, and very simply we got the answer as option B. Okay, awesome, very nice, very nice, awesome response guys, very nice, very nice. Let's continue, let's continue, keep the josh high guys, very nice. Wow, amazing response, amazing response, awesome guys, awesome. Let's move on to the next question. और next question जो है ये थोड़ा सा interesting तो है और ध्यान रखने वाला question है. I would rather star mark this question if I were you. I will go through such questions before my examination. ये बहुत दिखने में simple questions में से एक है, लेकिन यहीं ऐसे questions में ही सबसे ज़्यादा mistakes हम लोग कर जाते हैं. I'll tell you where the mistake happens. Question में पहले हम लोग question read करते हैं. Let's read the question. An object is moving with initial velocity 10 meters per second with a constant acceleration of minus 2 meters per second square. Okay, so the total distance traveled by the object is in 6 seconds is to be found. So whenever guys, please remember this minus 2a इसलिए लिखा हुआ है क्योंकि वो नेगेटिव पहले रिटार्डेशन है और उसके बाद में नेगेटिव एक्सेलरेशन भी हो सकता है. सो minus 2 is possibility for acceleration also because it's a vector quantity. Okay, इनिशियल वेलोसिटी जीरो नहीं है, 10 मीटर्स पर सेकेंड है, तो इसीलिए पहले बॉडी रिटार्ड होने वाली है. सो गाइस पे अटेंशन नाउ. यहाँ पे टोटल डिस्टेंस हमें फाइंड आउट करने बोला है. पॉइंट नंबर वन, कभी भी काइनेमेटिक्स के क्वेश्चन में अगर डिस्टेंस पूछा है, whenever in a kinematics question if the question is asking you to calculate distance, be extra careful. Be extra careful because there are chances that you will be eventually using an equation of motion, and equation of motion, remember, can only give you displacement. It cannot give you distance because equations of motion involve vector quantities. Okay guys, yeah. So initial velocity zero नहीं है, don't worry. So guys, कभी भी distance वाला question हो, so always try to solve the question by graph of velocity and time. यहाँ पे इनिशियल वेलोसिटी हमें 10 मीटर्स पर सेकेंड दी हुई है और एक्सेलरेशन -2 दिया हुआ है. वी नो दैट एक्सेलरेशन इन अ वेलोसिटी टाइम ग्राफ, अभी थोड़ी देर पहले बताया था, इज रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय द स्लोप ऑफ द ग्राफ. सो स्लोप ऑफ द ग्राफ इज गोइंग टू बी नेगेटिव एंड कांस्टेंट, सो दैट इज -2. तो उस ग्राफ को ड्रॉ करते हैं. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे देखो वेलोसिटी हैज टू बिकम जीरो. इफ द इनिशियल वेलोसिटी ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट इज 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड and it has to become zero at a rate of -2, means what, हर एक सेकंड में velocity 2 मीटर पर सेकंड से reduce होनी चाहिए. Means the velocity will reduce by 2 meter per second after every 1 second, which tells us what, that how much time the body is going to take in order to come to rest. It's going to take 5 seconds. बहुत ही simple सा logic है ये. If the velocity is reducing by 2 meters per second every second, then 10 एक सेकंड के बाद में 8, one more second 6, one more second 4, one more second 2, one more second 0, that is 5 seconds. So that's why this is 5 seconds. But हमें total distance calculate करने बोला है 6 seconds के बाद में, and that is where the mistake happens because now the graph will enter. अगर ये equation graph से नहीं solve करेंगे तो mistake हो जाती है because the graph now has entered into the negative zone of velocity. इसका मतलब ये है कि यहाँ पे body हो रही है retard in the first zone. First 5 seconds the body is getting retarded. Okay, from 0 to 5 body was retarding, and after that what is happening in this part of the graph, guys pay attention. This part of the graph is negative acceleration, so that's why velocity from 0 it will become -2. मतलब क्या, पहले body retard हो रही है, उसके बाद में body opposite direction में move करना शुरू कर रही है. Cool. तो हमें क्या करना था, डिस्टेंस फाइंड आउट करना है. टू फाइंड आउट द वैल्यू ऑफ डिस्टेंस, पीपल all you have to do is calculate the value of the area of these two triangles S1 and S2. तो S1 क्या होगा? Half area of the triangle, half into altitude, that is 10. This side is 5. So this comes out to be how much? When you simplify, this is 50 by 2, that is 25 meters. और हमें सिर्फ magnitude चाहिए because we just want to calculate the distance. Similarly, S2, that is half into altitude, that is -2, but you will use only 2 here because हमें magnitude चाहिए, हमें displacement नहीं find out करना है. Displacement चाहिए होता तो -2 लेते, and the time is 1 second here. This gap is 1 second. So this comes out to be 1 meter. So what is the total distance, guys? 25 plus 1, 26 meters. So that's why the correct answer is option C. Okay, very nice, very nice. I hope you guys have understood where possibly the mistake happens in such question. Always remember, कभी भी distance अगर question में पूछा है, if ever a question is asking you to calculate distance, be extra careful. Always try to go by the graph. Okay. Okay, guys. Let's continue to the next question. Next question is the acceleration time graph of particle which is given to us. And question is asking at what time the particle will acquire its initial velocity. So nothing has been mentioned about the initial velocity. Okay. And we have to talk about the final velocity to be equal to initial velocity. So if initial and final velocity will become equal, can I say that delta V, V final minus V initial should become 0. Okay. And for everyone, for recap purpose or for just a revision purpose, the area of acceleration versus time graph is nothing but change in velocity. So this total graph area should come out to be 0. Means what? इस ग्राफ को थोड़ा सा एक्सटेंड करता हूं. ये जो एरिया है, this area is positive area, this area is negative area. ये total area 0 आना चाहिए. So you can see that if this is 10, then this area will become 0 when this will become minus 10. Okay. So if this is 4, you can just predict that how much this should be by equilateral triangle, not the equilateral triangle, but rather the similar triangle properties. If this gap is 4, then this gap should also be 4. So that is basically 8 seconds, as simple as that, without even solving this. Okay. Okay. So that's why the correct answer is 8 seconds, because जब ये टाइम 8 सेकेंड हो जाएगा तो एरिया पॉजिटिव एंड एरिया नेगेटिव विल बी इक्वल एंड दे विल कैंसिल आउट ईच अदर. ओके. डिस्प्लेसमेंट 24 होगा प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन में, somebody is asking. yes 24 होगा, डिस्टेंस 26 होगा. perfect. Okay guys, so this was motion in 1D. Let's move on to motion in 2D now. Okay, so majority discussion will be revolving around projectile. In the case of a projectile motion, what we do, we launch a body with the initial velocity, say that is u, at an angle theta. Okay. Yep. And you can see that velocity has been resolved as u cos theta and u sin theta. U cos theta is the body's velocity responsible to take it along x-axis, or say the horizontal direction. And u sin theta is responsible to take the body along y direction, remember that. And throughout the motion, body experiences only one force, and that is one acceleration, that is g, along y direction. Now guys, because sign convention are usually taken as upward positive and downward negative, that's why the acceleration along y direction is not written as g but written as minus g, because of downward direction being taken as negative. Okay, which means what? When the object is thrown upward, the body will have minus g acceleration, which means that the body will retard. जब हम body को ऊपर throw कर रहे हैं, means what? If I consider this as O, this as P, and this as Q. So O to P, body is going up, but the body is going to retard because the body will slow down. So value that you will use as acceleration is minus g. Body is going in the positive direction but slowing down. So that's why minus g. When the body will come from P to Q, the body will accelerate, but accelerate in negative direction. So negative acceleration will happen. So that is why we'll use it as minus g. Okay, guys, remember the speed in the first case OP will decrease, and speed in the second case PQ will increase. So, guys, important formulae with respect to this chapter: time of flight when the body is going from horizontal level to the same horizontal level when it comes from O to Q. The time that is taken by the body is 2u sine theta by g. Okay, and okay, and the maximum height attained. If you look at this point, let's call this as say d. So PD is your maximum height, and that is u square sine square theta by g. Please remember these formulae, and this is the horizontal range. That is as per the diagram. If I have to write, let me just say that this is time to go from O to Q, this is distance PD, and this is distance OQ, u square sine 2 theta. Okay, guys, please make sure that you are not making mistakes like where should I use 2 theta, where should I use square. All these mistakes should not be made. Remember that it is 2u sine theta by g. This is u square sine square theta by g, and r is u square sine 2 theta by g. And equation of trajectory, the path equation, that is y equal to x tan theta minus g upon 2u square cos square theta into x square, which is a parabolic equation. That is why the path followed by the body is a parabola. Okay, the trajectory is parabola. Okay. Also, if we come across relative motion questions, all you have to understand that whenever we are talking about relative velocity is basically when one of the moving object is considered as the observer. So the relative velocity is nothing but velocity of the object minus velocity VAB. Whenever we write, it is velocity of A as seen by B. So we just subtract the velocity of B from A. That's how the relative velocity will be found in this. B is made the observer and A is being observed, so that is object. Okay. Yeah. Yep. This is u square sine square theta upon 2g. Thank you for correcting this. The formula for maximum height is now correctly mentioned here. U square sine square theta upon 2g hota hai, and this is u square sine square 2 theta by g. Thank you for correcting. Okay. Yep. Thank you, guys. That means people are awake. Very good. लोग जागे हुए हैं. Very nice. Okay. So guys, let's start with our problem solving. Okay. The very first question, please read the question, guys. It says that the horizontal range and maximum height of the projectiles are given to be equal. So the value of capital R and H is given to be equal. We have to find out the angle of projection. Means what? Simply H equal to R करना है और बहुत simply हम लोग इसे solve कर पाएंगे. Okay. So H is U square sine square theta upon 2g, and this is equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. Okay, sine 2 theta को लिख सकते हैं 2 sine theta cos theta. We'll write that also. Before that, u square gets cancelled, g gets cancelled. So I have sine square theta, which I am writing it as sine theta into sine theta upon 2, और sine 2 theta को लिख सकते हैं 2 sine theta cos theta. Okay, everyone. So 1 sine theta gets cancelled and 2 comes here and cos theta comes here. So sine theta by cos theta equal to 2 into 2, that is tan theta equal to 4, which means, guys, theta equal to tan inverse 4 is the correct answer. Very nice, guys. Very nice. Yes, B is the correct answer, tan inverse 224. Many people got that answer. Very nice. Awesome. Very nice, guys. Very nice. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Question number 2 for us. It says that a particle moves in 2D motion such that its position depend on time as x is equal to 4t square plus 2t plus 3. मतलब ऐसे उसका x coordinate change होता है और उसका y coordinate change होता है 5t plus 7. So the equation of variation of x and y with time is given to us. We have to find out the velocity of the particle at t equal to 2 seconds. मतलब हमें चाहिए vx और vy. तो अगर हमें vx और vy का वैल्यू मिल जाएगा तो विल बी एबल टू फाइंड आउट द वैल्यू ऑफ द वेलोसिटी वेक्टर विच इज vx i cap प्लस vy j cap और मैग्नीट्यूड फाइंड आउट कर लेंगे एज अंडर रूट ऑफ vx स्क्वायर प्लस vy स्क्वायर, है ना. So let's find out the value of vx. What is vx? It is nothing but dx by dt. तो ये जो इक्वेशन है इसे डिफरेंशिएट करते हैं. ओके, excuse me. So when we differentiate this, this is 4t square plus 2t plus 3. When we differentiate, this will come out to be 8t plus 2 और t equal to 2 seconds बोला है. So t equal to 2 यहाँ पे put कर देते हैं. That gives me 16 plus 2, that is 18 meters per second. Okay guys. Similarly, vy, that is dy by dt, that value will come out after differentiating this. So 5t ka differentiation is 5, 7 doesn't get differentiated or rather gets differentiated to give you 0 because it's a constant. So this is 5 meters per second. So now when you will find out the value of v by vx square plus vy square, so this is 324 and this is 25, so value will come out to be under root of 349 meters per second. Yes, the correct answer comes out to be under root of 349 meters per second. Very well done, guys. Very well. Okay. Okay. Next question. थोड़ा एक लेवल ऊपर जाते हैं, अच्छे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हैं और so now in this question a ball is thrown from point P. एक बॉल को हमने पॉइंट P से थ्रो किया है और the initial velocity is given as 10 root 3 meter per second and it strikes the other inclined plane perpendicular. We have to find out the velocity with which it is striking the plane. Okay. C for corona. Okay, let's see. Good one. So guys, what is given to us here is the angle which is 30 degree. Okay. So अगर यहाँ पे हम एक horizontal drop कर देते हैं, so this angle is 30 degree, so the angle of projection with horizontal is 60 degree. Okay guys, and when the object is going to hit the other inclined plane, you can see that this angle is going to be 60 degree, so this is also 60 degree, so the remaining angle, because this total is 90, is going to be 30 degree, which means what? If I resolve the initial velocity and final velocities here, okay, so this velocity is u cos 60 degree, which is ux, और अगर इसे रिजॉल्व करते हैं so vx will be v cos 30 degree. Okay, and you all know that during projectile motion the horizontal component of the velocity matlab ux and vx, that does not change, so we can say that vx will be equal to ux. Vx is v cos 30 degree, ux is u cos 60 degree. Okay, cos 30 is root 3 by 2 and u value is 10 root 3, cos 60 is half, 2 gets cancelled, root 3 gets cancelled, so what are we left with is v, which is equal to 10 meters per second. So answer is not C for corona, rather answer is D. Okay, D for deadly. Yes, correct answer is option D. Very nice. Good guys, keep it up, keep it up. Keep solving the question along with me. मेरे साथ solve करते रहो. Now the next one guys. This one is a very famous river and man problem. Question says that a river of width 100 meters. तो 100 मीटर की एक width की river है and it is flowing from west to east at a speed of 5 meters per second. तो river जो है it is going to flow in this direction. Velocity of river is given to us as 5 meters per minute. Okay, and a man is trying to swim and he can swim at a rate of 10 meters per minute. Okay, so whenever this value is given, it simply means velocity of man with respect to river is basically 10. Now we have to find out the drift if the time taken to cross the river is shortest. So guys, what happens? River is actually flowing in the right side direction, which is basically west to east. अगर हम शॉर्टेस्ट टाइम में रिवर को क्रॉस करना चाहते हैं तो हमें बेसिकली सिर्फ रिवर को इधर डायरेक्शन में क्रॉस करने का ट्राई करना चाहिए. इन दैट केस रिवर will offer the minimum resistance to us and will take us from here to here. मतलब अगर मैं यहाँ से स्टार्ट करूंगा तो मैं रिवर में इस डायरेक्शन में स्विम करना ट्राई करूंगा. दैट इज वेलोसिटी ऑफ मैन with respect to river. I'll try to basically go in this direction in the river, but if somebody is looking at me from outside उसे लगेगा कि मैं इस direction में जा रहा हूँ, which is say making an angle of theta with the horizontal direction or say with the direction of east. तो मैं north side travel करने का कोशिश करूंगा because that is my objective to cross the river. But effectively because of the drift of the river का पानी जो है मुझे right side drift करके लेके जाएगा. तो मैं इफेक्टिवली O से C पहुंच जाऊंगा इंस्टेड ऑफ रीचिंग O टू से P. तो ये जो ड्रिफ्ट है X ये हमें पता लगाना है. ओके गाइस, सो इफ आई गो बाय द यूजुअल approach which says that velocity of man with respect to river is velocity of man minus velocity of river. This is how we write the relative velocity equations. So from here, velocity of man vector comes out to be velocity of man with respect to river plus velocity of river. Okay guys, and you can see that these two are perpendicular to each other. That means what? This value comes out to be Vr is 5, so let's call it 5 I cap, yeah, and this one is 10 J cap. So velocity of man as seen from the ground is 5 I cap plus 10 J cap, which simply means what? 5 velocity की वजह से it is getting drifted to the right side and 10 velocity की वजह से it is moving towards the direction of crossing the river. Okay, so let me just find out the time that it will take to cross the river. So the time that it will take will be velocity just a minute guys, need some space to simplify. I'll just use this equation. Okay, okay, so we know that in order to cross the river the velocity Vmr is basically d by t. So the time to cross is basically d upon Vmr. तो कितना टाइम लगने वाला है? Total distance to be covered in crossing the river is 100 and the velocity with which you are trying to cross, the velocity that is making him cross the river is 10 meters per minute. So total 10 minutes लगेंगे उसे क्रॉस करने में. ठीक है, तो O to P वाला डिस्टेंस कवर करते करते बॉडी एक्चुअली O to C पहुंच गई है. तो वर्टिकल डिस्टेंस तो हमने 100 मीटर कवर कर लिया 10 मिनट्स में, बट टोटल ड्रिफ्ट जो सफर हुई P to C, this is P to C distance, that is because of this velocity, that is Vr into T. So the velocity with which you are drifting is 5 and drifting for 10 minutes. So total drift suffered is 50 meters. That is again D for Daruna. Yes, D for deadly and D for डरोना. Yes, कोरोना से डरोना. Okay, guys, that's our correct answer. Many of the students I can see have got the answer right. That's nice, guys. Awesome. Yep. Cool, guys. Let's move on. ये था 2D motion. Let's talk about laws of motion. एक बार go through कर लेते हैं. Laws क्या हैं? First law, as you all know, is the law of inertia. If there is a body which is at rest, will stay at rest. If there is a body which is moving, it will want to continue to move until unless there is an external unbalanced forces applied on the body. ठीक है, जब तक बॉडी पे एक्सटर्नल अनबैलेंस फोर्स नहीं लगाओगे तब तक वो अपने प्रेजेंट स्टेट को मेंटेन करेगी. रेस्ट पे है तो रेस्ट पे, यूनिफॉर्म मोशन है तो यूनिफॉर्म मोशन चलता रहेगा. ठीक है. सेकंड वन प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. सेकंड लॉ सेज दैट द फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन द बॉडी इज इक्वल टू द रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ its linear momentum. Delta P by delta T is the net external force acting on the body. इसी को जब हम सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं तो मास इनटू एक्सेलरेशन में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. ठीक है. So the force acting on a body is equal to the rate of change of linear momentum. Okay. Third one, every action force has equal and opposite reaction. I hope you all know this. Remember that action reaction pair, the action reaction force do not act on the same body. Please remember that, very important it is. कभी भी अगर एक बॉडी का फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम बना रहे हैं तो उस पे लगने वाले जो दोनों फोर्सेस होंगे वो कभी भी एक्शन रिएक्शन पेयर नहीं हो सकते. सेम बॉडी पे कभी भी एक्शन रिएक्शन फोर्सेस एक्ट नहीं करेंगे. प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इट इज. So in a given free body diagram of a body, of a single body, you will never have an action reaction pair acting over there. Okay. Okay. More important formulae, please have a look at these, guys. Yep. So I know you guys are aware about these basic formulae here, right? When the body is in equilibrium, net force is 0. अगर बॉडी सर्कुलर पाथ पे मूव करेगी तो सेंट्रीपिटल फोर्स एंड सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स विल बी mv square by r. Spring force is kx, where x is the elongation or compression in the spring. Okay. Friction force is mu into n, where n is the normal force, mu is the coefficient of friction. Okay. During circular motion, the most important relation is v is equal to omega cross r, and the net acceleration is omega cross v, which is v square by r, and alpha cross r. This is not plus but cross. Okay, so this one is centripetal acceleration and this one is your tangential acceleration. Okay, guys. Don't worry, I'm fine, guys. I'm not in a quarantine. I'm just having common cold, not dry cough. Don't worry. Okay, thank you for the concern though. Okay, guys, and your acceleration can be found by the resultant of these two. Okay. Okay, guys, let's move on for the first question here. Okay, so the first question: a man of mass m stands on a platform of equal mass m and pulls himself by two ropes passing over pulleys as shown in the figure. So as you can see it in the diagram, guys, एक platform है जिसका mass m है. There is this guy of mass m and he's trying to pull the string which is eventually connected by passing over two pulleys connected to the platform below him. So he's trying to pull the string. You can feel it, you can visualize that when he will try to pull the string towards himself, the rope towards himself, he's trying to lift the platform and himself up. जब तुम रोप को नीचे की तरफ पुल कर रहे हो, assuming that it is you are trying to pull the platform up, प्लेटफॉर्म को ऊपर पुल करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं हम लोग. Okay, and also we are trying to lift ourselves up here. ठीक है, हमें पता लगाना है what will be the upward acceleration obviously platform and person will have the same acceleration if at all. What is given to us is that the person is trying to pull with a force that is equal to half of his weight. तो अगर उसका खुद का वेट mg है तो यहाँ पे जो फोर्स लगाने वाला है जिसकी वजह से उसे अपवर्ड फोर्स मिलेगा टेंशन के बराबर, दैट इज mg/2. यहाँ पे भी mg/2. मासलेस स्ट्रिंग अज्यूम कर रहे हैं बिकॉज नथिंग हैज बीन गिवन. दैट विल बी mg/2. दिस इज ऑल्सो mg/2. So guys, total upward force is mg/2 plus mg/2 plus mg/2 plus mg/2. मतलब अगर टोटल सिस्टम को कंसिडर करें प्लेटफॉर्म प्लस पर्सन तो टोटल अपवर्ड फोर्स इज 2 mg and total downward force is 2 mg because mg is the weight of the person, mg is the weight of the platform also, which simply means what guys, अगर हम acceleration find out भी करना चाहें, so the f net here is 0, which means acceleration will come out to be 0. Okay, because the net force acting on the system, on the person and the platform is 0. That's why the correct answer is going to be option D. Yep, not B for Bahubali but D for deadly and D for Darona. Okay. Beautiful Corona. Okay, I like that. Okay, next one guys. Block A of mass 2 kg, as you can see, is okay. People are confused here. 4 जगह क्यों आया? देखो ये दोनों फोर्सेस जो है गाइस, 4 जगह पे mg क्यों आया, mg/2 क्यों आया, वो पूछ रहे लोग. ये जो दोनों फोर्सेस है ये दोनों लग रहे हैं पर्सन के ऊपर. When you will try to pull the string or rope, जब तुम रोप को नीचे पुल करोगे रोप will pull you up. तो ये दोनों फोर्सेस जो हैं ये पर्सन पे लग रहे हैं. और ये वाले जो दोनों फोर्सेस हैं mg/2 एंड mg/2 है तो स्ट्रिंग में, ये प्लेटफॉर्म पे लग रहे हैं. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई जो प्लेटफॉर्म है दैट विल आल्सो ट्राई टू लिफ्ट अलोंग विद द पर्सन. ओके, हाउ mg/2, क्योंकि क्वेश्चन में बोला है the force which the person is applying is equal to half of the weight in each rope. तो हर रोप में mg/2 फोर्स है. ओके, समझ गए? नाइस. ओके, now next one. A block A of mass 2 kg is placed over block B of mass 8 kg. Okay, and the combination is placed over a rough horizontal surface. Coefficient of friction between B and the floor is given to us and the horizontal force of 10 Newton is applied on block B. हमें पता लगाना है what is the force of friction between A and B. तो guys यहाँ पे अगर हम A और B का फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम बनाते हैं तो दिस इज A एंड दिस इज B. तो B पे यहाँ एक 10 न्यूटन का फोर्स लगाया है, ग्राउंड से उसे एक फ्रिक्शन फोर्स मिलेगा दैट इज F1, और अपवर्ड जो बॉडी रखी है वहां से भी एक फ्रिक्शन मिलेगा F2 बिकॉज इट इज ट्राइंग टू मूव टुवर्ड्स द राइट साइड. और A अगर B के साथ मूव करेगा तो उसका रीजन ही F2 है. सो गाइज यहीं पे बता देता हूं, एक अच्छा मौका है ये F2 और ये F2 एक्शन रिएक्शन पेयर है, दोनों अलग अलग बॉडीज पे लग रहे हैं. ओके, नाउ सो if we look at the forces here, the normal force acting on A is say N1 and that same normal is acting on B like this N1. So F2 will be dependent on N1 and this F1 will be dependent on the total normal force that is applied from the ground, which is basically equal to weight of A and B. So this is say 8G and N1 is equal to the weight of block A, that is 2G. So if we talk about the total normal force that is N, क्योंकि उससे हम F1 फाइंड आउट कर पाएंगे, what we are trying to do here, we are trying to find out कि F2 का वैल्यू कितना है. तो F2 का वैल्यू पता लगाने के लिए सबसे पहले मुझे ये चेक करना है कि whether B will be able to move towards right or not, because if I get to know that there is some acceleration of the system, then for block A, F2 is responsible for that acceleration for A. ए को आगे लेके जाने के लिए कौन सी बॉडी रिस्पॉन्सिबल है वो हम पता लगा रहे हैं, ठीक है। सो गाइस, लेट मी अगेन टेल यू दिस. So overall, this is the normal force that is offered by the ground. This is the friction that is offered by the ground. Let me call it as F1. ठीक है? So N is basically equal to the total weight here, that is 10G. Okay, considering it to be G value as 10, so this is 100 Newton. ठीक है guys? तो अगर हम limiting friction calculate करें, that is mu into N, mu value is 0.5, that is half into 100, that value is 50 Newton. मतलब यहाँ से जो limiting friction है that is 50 Newton. तो ये जो external force है that is right now 10 Newton, so let's call it F external. This F external right now is less than the limiting friction. That simply means what? System move ही नहीं कर रहा है, क्योंकि जो एक्सटर्नल फोर्स हम लगा रहे हैं वो फ्रिक्शन को ओवरकम ही नहीं कर पा रहा है. तो अगर फ्रिक्शन को ओवरकम नहीं कर पाएगा, देयर विल बी नो मोशन ओनली, देयर इज नो एक्सेलरेशन एट ऑल. इफ देयर इज नो एक्सेलरेशन, B is not even trying to move on B or along with B, which means what? जो मैंने बताया था A का जो फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम है जिसके अकॉर्डिंग यहाँ एक फ्रिक्शन फोर्स आएगा जो हमें पता लगाना था F2, there is no acceleration only. So F2, which is equal to mass of A into acceleration, this acceleration is 0. So that's why the friction itself is 0. Okay. The correct answer is A. That is 0. The acceleration between A and B. Okay. Okay. A for awesome corona. Very nice. A for awkward corona. A for awesome corona. A for awkward corona. Very nice. B for beautiful corona. And then C for careless corona, है ना, and D for Darona. Very nice. That's the terminologies for today. Cool guys. Awesome. Keep the josh high. Keep the mood also light, and keep the learning going. Very nice guys. I like the enthusiasm so far from you guys. Okay. Next question. An aeroplane at constant speed 105 meters per second towards east makes a gradual turn following a circular path to fly south. मतलब एक प्लेन है, एरोप्लेन, जो ऐसे जा रहा है with some velocity v, and after some time it takes a circular turn and then starts moving like this. ऐसे जाने लगता है. तो यहाँ पे एक circular turn होने वाला है of radius r. Okay, this turn happens in 15 seconds. Speed remained 105. हमें पता लगाने बोला है what is the centripetal acceleration during this turn. तो centripetal acceleration is v square by r. ये हमें पता लगाना है. ठीक है guys. तो अगर हमें ये पार्ट जो लेंथ है ये हमें मिल जाती है, द सर्कमफेरेंस, हाफ ऑफ द सर्कमफेरेंस अगर हमें मिल जाती है पाई आर, तो लेट्स कॉल दिस सर्कमफेरेंस एज एल. L will be equal to V into T. Yes or no? The total distance covered between say point P and Q. तो हम PQ length पता लगा रहे हैं. L is V into T. So that speed is 105. और let's put it later on. अभी नहीं पुट करते. हमें ये मालूम पड़ गया कि ये लेंथ हमें चाहिए. And this L is equal to pi R, which is equal to VT. So R is equal to Vt by pi. Okay, now centripetal acceleration, which is V square by R, is V square by Vt into pi. तो एक V cancel हो जाता है. I have V by T into pi. So speed is 105 into pi divided by 15. Okay, so 5 2s are 10, 5 1s are 5, 5 3s are 15. So this comes out to be 7 pi. 7 pi meter per second square. D for Darona is the correct answer. Okay. Okay. Just a correction here, guys. This is not supposed to be east. This is supposed to be north. Yep. This is supposed to be north. Yes. North से south. Correct, correct, correct. Correction there. Supposed to be north to south. Okay. अगर ईस्ट से साउथ होता तो हमें यहां से लेना पड़ता, तो उसमें फिर यहाँ पाई आर बाय 4 ले लेते. अगर पाई आर बाय 4 करते तो द वैल्यू वुड कम आउट टू बी फॉर आर एज पाई आर बाय 2 करना पड़ता ना, पाई आर बाय 2. सो वो होता 2 ईटी बाय पाई, तो आंसर फिर ए हो जाता उस केस में. आई होप द अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज क्लियर. तो जिस तरह से हमने सॉल्व कर दिया है, फॉर दैट आई हैव टेकन इट टू बी नॉर्थ टू साउथ. ओके ओके. मेंस में इससे भी ज्यादा इजी क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. somebody is asking सर इतने इजी क्वेश्चंस आते हैं क्या? ओके. Yep. Okay, guys, let's move on. Next one. Now, this time you have two blocks A and B of masses 3m and m respectively, which are connected by a massless inextensible string. The whole system is suspended by a massless spring as shown in the figure. The magnitude of acceleration of A and B after the string is cut are how much? वो हमें पता लगाना है. Okay, guys. तो देखो, अगर इनिशियली सिस्टम को देखा जाए तो स्प्रिंग में जो भी स्प्रिंग फोर्स है वो टोटल 4 mg वेट को बैलेंस कर रहा है. ओके गाइस, सो इनिशियली द स्प्रिंग फोर्स इज 4 mg. ओके, एक्सक्यूज मी गाइस. सो इनिशियली स्प्रिंग फोर्स का वैल्यू हमें पता है, और अब हम ये वाले स्प्रिंग को कट कर रहे हैं, ये वाले स्ट्रिंग को कट कर रहे हैं, the one that is between A and B. So what happens suddenly when you cut the string? This tension becomes zero. Okay guys, this tension becomes zero, and when this tension becomes zero, the weight mg is still acting here, which will be equal to mass into acceleration of this block B. तो acceleration of B जो है वो तो g हो गया, मतलब आंसर C नहीं हो सकता, D नहीं हो सकता, because g by 3 लिखा हुआ है. बट इफ वी स्पीक अबाउट ए नाउ, ए का फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम बहुत क्रूशियल है. अभी भी इमीडिएटली एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम इफ आई स्पीक अबाउट दैट, यहां अभी भी स्प्रिंग फोर्स लग रहा है और नीचे अभी ब्लॉक ए का वेट लग रहा है, दैट इज 3 mg, एंड दिस फोर्स इज 4 mg, एंड यू कैन सी अपवर्ड फोर्स इज स्ट्रॉन्गर, सो एक्सेलरेशन इज अपवर्ड. So total force upward is Fs minus 3 mg will be equal to mass into acceleration of A. So this is 4 mg minus 3 mg, so that will be mg, and that is why this value is equated to mg equal to 3m. Acceleration of A, m gets cancelled, acceleration of A comes out to be g by 3. That means the correct answer is awesome corona. Yes. Very nice guys, very nice, awesome, very well, very well. I can see people have got this answer right. Okay, keep it up guys, very nice. Okay guys, moving on to the next one. Next one says a balloon with mass m is descending down with an acceleration a. Okay, here a balloon is descending first with an acceleration a, which is less than g, not freely falling, and question is asking how much mass should be removed from it so that it starts rising up with the same acceleration a. तो पहले उसका मास m है, बाद में उसका मास m माइनस m कर देंगे, तो हमें बेसिकली कितना मास रिमूव करना चाहिए वो वैल्यू पता लगाना है. ओके गाइस, सो इफ आई फर्स्ट ट्राई टू टॉक अबाउट दिस केस, ओके, जस्ट अ मिनट गाइस. या, okay, so in this case, first case, the body is coming down, so mg minus f is equal to ma. What is this F? F is basically the force applied by the gases due to the pressure which is created inside the balloon. Balloon में जो hot air है वो एयर और गैसेस जो हैं उनके प्रेशर से जनरेट होने वाला फोर्स F है जो बलून को लिफ्ट करना चाहिए था आइडियली. So this acceleration is mg minus F by m. Okay. After that, you have reduced the mass. Say instead of writing this as m minus m because वो capital M है diagram में, I am writing it as m minus x into g. And now the body is going up. So from here, the force equation will be F minus m minus x into g is equal to m minus x into a. Okay, guys. And from here, the acceleration value is to be found. Sorry, the value of m has to be found. X value is to be found. M is given here. Okay. So दोनों equations use कर लेते हैं. एक काम करते हैं. And जो cancel होता है, उसे cancel कर देते हैं. Okay. So from here, I'll write it as F minus mg plus xg. ये equation लिख रहा हूँ मैं यहाँ पे is equal to ma minus xa. दोनों equations को add करके I'm trying to find out the value of x, which is the mass to be removed. So F gets cancelled, mg gets cancelled. I have xg equal to ma 2ma minus xa. So xa को भी यहाँ ले आते हैं. What do I have? xa plus xg. So a plus g into x is equal to 2ma. Okay, so x का value comes out to be 2ma divided by g plus a. 2ma upon g plus a, which is option A. Correct answer is option A. Okay, तो क्या किया हमने? पहले मास था m, बाद में मास हो गया m minus x. So earlier the body was coming down with an acceleration a, now it is going to go up with an acceleration a. So here the equation was downward minus upward force is equal to ma. This is the equation of this diagram. और ये वाले diagram के लिए upward force minus downward force is equal to mass into acceleration. दोनों equations को simultaneously solve कर दिया. Okay, that's nice, guys. Great. Fine, so this was laws of motion. Let's move on to work, energy, power. Okay, so these are the important results. Please have a look. What is important to remember in this chapter? इस chapter में क्या याद रखने लायक है? सबसे ज़्यादा important तो obviously law of conservation of energy है. That energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can only be transformed. Okay, and other thing that I want you people to remember are conservative and non-conservative forces. कंजर्वेटिव फोर्सेस वो हैं जिनकी वजह से टोटल मैकेनिकल एनर्जी जो है वो कांस्टेंट रहता है. मैकेनिकल एनर्जी को चेंज नहीं करते. U plus K remains a constant here for conservative forces. एंड नॉन कंजर्वेटिव फोर्सेस के केस में U plus K जो है वो कांस्टेंट नहीं रहेगा, चेंज होता जाएगा. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम डिक्रीज होगा. नॉन कंजर्वेटिव फोर्सेस एग्जांपल याद रख सकते हैं. फ्रिक्शन, एयर रेजिस्टेंस and viscosity or viscous force. जबकि कंजर्वेटिव फोर्सेस बाकी सारे हैं. ग्रेविटेशन, इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक, मैग्नेटिज्म, टेंशन, नॉर्मल, स्प्रिंग फोर्स, एवरीथिंग. ठीक है, और वही वर्क एनर्जी थ्योरम के फॉर्म में भी जाना जाता है. द लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एनर्जी, वर्क डन बाय अ फोर्स इज इक्वल टू द चेंज इन काइनेटिक एनर्जी. ओके, ऑल्सो जस्ट रिमेंबर वर्क डन बाय कंजर्वेटिव फोर्स, ओनली फॉर कंजर्वेटिव फोर्स, is equal to the negative of the change in potential energy is equal to the negative of the work done by the external agent. ये याद रखना है. Work done by the conservative force is equal to the negative of the change in potential energy is equal to the negative of the work done by the external force. Okay, guys. Cool, guys. So पहला क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. A force is given to us as x y square I cap plus y x square j cap. It is acting on a body which is moving in a parabolic path y equal to x square. We have to find out the work done in moving the body from 0 comma 0 to a comma a square. मतलब x coordinate is going from 0 to a and y coordinate is going from 0 to a square. Okay guys, so पहले तो work done calculate करेंगे along x direction which is integration of fx dx. x डायरेक्शन का फोर्स एक्स वाई स्क्वायर दिया हुआ है, तो y को हम रिप्लेस कर देंगे x स्क्वायर से, तो ये बन जाएगा x टू द पावर 5 dx गोइंग फ्रॉम 0 टू a. So integration x to the power 6 by 6. So work done along x comes out to be a to the power 6 by 6. Very simple. Okay. Similarly, work done along y direction is integral of fy dy, and fy is given to us as yx square dy. So x square can be replaced as y. So this becomes y square dy going from 0 to a square. This is going from 0 to a square. तो ये आ जाएगा y क्यूब बाई 3 फ्रॉम 0 टू a स्क्वायर, तो ये मिलता है a टू द पावर 6 बाई 3. ओके गाइस, सो टोटल वर्क डन इज wx plus wy, and when you simplify that you can write this also as 2a to the power 6 by 6, because ये वाला जो पार्ट था ये a to the power 6 by 6 है, ये 2a to the power 6 by 6 है, टोटल वर्क ऐड करोगे so 3a to the power 6 by 6 which comes out to be a to the power 6 by 2. Okay guys, that's our correct answer, option a for awesome corona. Okay, but don't forget, be careful with corona. Jokes on one side but precautions on the other side, and very important for all of us. Okay, awesome. So answer is option A. Moving on to the next one. A small block of mass m is kept on a rough incline fixed in an elevator going down with a uniform velocity v. So elevator is going down with a uniform velocity, so no pseudo force, and the wedge is also not sliding. Wedge slide भी नहीं कर रहा है, तो हमें पता लगाना है the work done by the force of friction on the block. So block is just going down. Block सिर्फ नीचे आ रहा है. Okay guys, so you know that this force will be mg sin theta, this force will be normal, this will be mg cos theta, and this force is the force of friction which is balancing mg sin theta. So F is equal to mg sin theta first of all, because block is stationary on this inclined plane. Also this thing is coming down, so the total distance covered is v into t. ठीक है. Now if you look at the vectors here guys, ये है डायरेक्शन डिस्प्लेसमेंट का और ये है डायरेक्शन फ्रिक्शन का. और फ्रिक्शन जो है it is making an angle theta with the horizontal, and this is 90 degree. मतलब total angle between friction and displacement is 90 plus theta. Okay, so work done is friction into displacement into cos of theta, which is 90 plus theta in this case, and cos 90 plus theta is minus sin theta. So minus f into s into sin theta is the total work done. And what is friction? Friction का value यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है mg sin theta. So mg sin theta is your friction force. Displacement यहाँ लिखा हुआ है v into t, and theta sin theta है यहाँ पे. So the total work done comes out to be minus mg vt sin square theta. Minus mg vt sin square theta. C for corona after a long time. Yes. Correct answer is option C. Okay. Important part यहाँ पे था कि body is lift is moving with a constant velocity, which means that there is no pseudo force. No pseudo force is going to act. There is no acceleration of the system. Secondly, the block is stationary on the triangular wedge. Okay. Perfect. Okay guys, moving on to the next one. The minimum compression to reach the top point. तो यहाँ पे एक स्प्रिंग हमें दिया हुआ है, इस ब्लॉक को हमने लेफ्ट साइड पे प्रेस किया, स्प्रिंग को कंप्रेस किया, पोटेंशियल एनर्जी स्टोर की और रिलीज कर दिया. So block will obviously gain some kinetic energy, will reach here. When the block reaches here, if it has to if it has to reach the topmost point, if it has to reach the topmost point, you know that to complete the circular path here, the velocity with which the body should move from here is under root of 5 rg, assuming that it has to complete the circular motion. यहाँ पे पूरा circle complete करना है. Okay, so under root of 5 rg is the velocity with which the body should reach here. तो ये point A है और ये point B है. B पे आने पर जो velocity है VB वो under root 5 rg हो जाना चाहिए. So all I'm saying is that energy at A should be equal to energy at B. Okay, and A to B जब आ रहे हैं तो there is some loss of energy happening in the form of friction also. ठीक है, so here non-conservative force is acting. So instead of writing this equation this way, एक काम करते हैं, work energy theorem के form में चलते हैं. So I'm saying that energy at A जो है, सिंपल कॉमन सेंस से बात कर रहा हूं दोस्तों, एनर्जी एट ए जो भी थी वो एनर्जी में से फ्रिक्शन ने जितना वर्क किया माइनस द वर्क डन बाय फ्रिक्शन. व्हाई? बिकॉज फ्रिक्शन विल रिड्यूस द एनर्जी, should be equal to energy at B, because friction is going to be here because it is a rough surface, so friction will obviously reduce some energy. So energy at A reduced by friction will be equal to energy at B. Now energy at A is totally potential energy. Potential energy of the spring is at A. Work done by friction is basically friction into displacement and energy at B is basically kinetic energy at B. तो यहाँ पे इसी इक्वेशन को आगे बढ़ाते हैं. दिस इज हाफ के एक्स स्क्वायर, हमें एक्स ही पता लगाना है, मिनिमम कंप्रेशन, माइनस फ्रिक्शन. फ्रिक्शन हाउ विल वी राइट? we have been given the value of mu, so it will be mu into n and n will be equal to mg. So mu mg into L, this should be equal to half m vb square. Okay guys, so half k is given to us as 100, excuse me, minus mu value that is given to us as half. Okay, mass of the body is 10, g value is 10, the total distance to be covered is 4 meters. This is half, mass of the body is 10, and this is 5 rg, so 5 into 1 into 10. Okay guys, so this half gets cancelled. We have 100x square minus 400 is equal to 500. Okay, 400 right hand side आएगा, so 100x square is equal to 900. 100 और ये 100 cancel, x square equal to 9, so x is equal to 3 meters हमें मिल जाता है. Okay guys, बहुत सिंपल लॉजिक था ये. VB कैसे पता चला? VB एक स्टैंडर्ड रिजल्ट है. If a body in a vertical circle has to complete the circle, then bottommost point पे velocity should be under root of 5 rg और topmost point की velocity जो है under root of rg होनी चाहिए. This is how the body completes the circular motion. ये बहुत ही basic सा point है vertical circular motion में, please याद रखें इसे. Okay, okay, मैंने क्या किया, energy at A उसमें से friction का work as the energy loss किया, तो जितना भी एनर्जी ए पे था उसमें से इतना अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी का लॉस हो जाएगा व्हिच इज वर्क डन बाय फ्रिक्शन, दैट शुड बी इक्वल टू द एनर्जी एट बी. वो लॉजिक लगाया. ओके सर, के की जगह पे mgh क्यों नहीं लिखा? के की जगह mgh इसलिए नहीं लिखा क्योंकि सब कुछ तो हॉरिजॉन्टल लेवल पे हो रहा है, तो पोटेंशियल एनर्जी का तो कोई चेंज ही नहीं है. और हाफ के एक्स स्क्वायर क्यों लिख रहे हैं? क्योंकि वो स्प्रिंग की पोटेंशियल एनर्जी है, तो स्प्रिंग का पोटेंशियल एनर्जी लिखना जरूरी था. ओके ओके या ओके गाइस, नेक्स्ट वन, द टॉपिक इज सेंटर ऑफ मास एंड कोलिजन. ओके गाइस, सो remember how do you find out the value of center of mass for multiple particle system? m1 r1 plus m2 r2 up till mn rn divided by the total mass. And similarly, the velocity of center of mass and acceleration of center of mass can be found You can take a screenshot if you want, guys. I'm hoping you guys are already aware about these things. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Again, something that I want you people to take a screenshot of. सेमी सर्कुलर रिंग जो होती है उसका सेंटर ऑफ मास जो है उसका वैल्यू हमें याद रहना चाहिए. All these values if you can remember. Semicircular ring का center of mass from the center is under 2r by pi. For a semicircular disk it is 4r by 3 pi. For hollow sphere उसके center से r by 2 above the center. Okay. And for solid sphere it is 3r by 8. For hollow cone, this is hollow. For hollow cone, the center of mass is at h by 3, and for solid cone it is h by 4. Okay. Yep. आज रोटेशन मैकेनिक्स भी होगा, डोंट वरी. सो इसी को यूज करते हुए पहला क्वेश्चन देखते हैं गाइस. वी हैव टू लोकेट द सेंटर ऑफ मास of the system formed by a semicircular ring of mass m and a semicircular disk of mass 2m. तो यहाँ पे एक रिंग है और एक डिस्क है. तो रिंग का सेंटर ऑफ मास यहाँ कहीं पे है, डिस्क का सेंटर ऑफ मास यहाँ कहीं पे है. यहाँ पे m मास रख देते हैं, यहाँ पे 2m मास रख देते हैं. इसे x1 बोल देते हैं और इसको x2 बोल देते हैं. So x1 is, let's see, x1 is 4r by 3 pi and this is 2r by pi. 4r by 3 pi. And x2, क्योंकि लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे ये अपना ओरिजिन है 0,0, तो ये लेफ्ट हैंड साइड इज नेगेटिव. सो 2r by pi बट विद अ माइनस साइन, माइनस 2r by pi. क्यों माइनस लिखा मैंने? बिकॉज दिस साइड इज नेगेटिव and this side is positive. Okay, so location of center of mass m1 x1 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2. Okay, first mass is 2m, उसका center of mass है 4r by 3 pi. Second mass is m, center of mass is minus 2r by pi divided by total mass that is 3m. So m तो कैंसिल हो जाता है थ्रू आउट. ओके गाइस, और इसे सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं. सो डिनोमिनेटर 3 पाई बनाना है. उसको एक काम करते हैं, 3 से मल्टीप्लाई और डिवाइड कर देते हैं. सो डिनोमिनेटर 3 पाई हो गया इन द अपर पार्ट ऑफ इट. सो दिस इज 6 2 into 4 that is 8r minus 6r divided by 3 3s are 9 and pi. So you have 2r by 9 pi as the x coordinate of center of mass. 2r by 9 pi. And obviously center of mass है तो x axis पे, y axis पे तो जाएगा नहीं. So the correct answer is option C. Okay. Yes, correct. Correct answer is C for corona. Awesome, awesome. Okay guys. Cool guys, let's move on to the next one. We have to find the acceleration of center of mass when the system is released from rest. तो ये वाला मास जो है नीचे आएगा विद एन एक्सेलरेशन ए, और ये वाला मास ऊपर जाएगा विद एन एक्सेलरेशन ए. ये एटवुड मशीन है, ये हम लोग बहुत बार सॉल्व कर चुके हैं अपने लॉज ऑफ मोशन चैप्टर में. सो एक्सेलरेशन इज फाउंड बाय यूजिंग ड्राइविंग फोर्स माइनस opposing force divided by the total mass m1 plus m2. तो यहाँ पे ड्राइव करने वाला फोर्स जो है वो 3g का मास है, अपोज करने वाला फोर्स 2g है. तुम चाहो तो इक्वेशंस लिख के भी सॉल्व कर सकते हो. ओके, सो ड्राइविंग फोर्स इज 3g, अपोजिंग फोर्स इज 2g, टोटल मास इज 2 plus 3 that is 5. So this is g by 5. That's the acceleration value. The only thing is this direction is positive, downward direction is negative. So जब acceleration of center of mass लिखेंगे, so m1 a1 plus m2 a2 divided by m1 plus m2 करेंगे. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट मास जो है say that is 2 kg, उसका acceleration है g by 5. दूसरा मास जो है that is 3, but उसका acceleration downward है, so minus g by 5 लिखना पड़ेगा. And the total mass divided is 5. Okay guys, Yeah, so this is 2g by 5 minus 3g by 5, so that gives you minus g by 5 divided by 5. Okay, that means minus g by 25, and g की जगह पे 10 रख देते हैं, so minus 10 by 25 is what we are getting, which gives you minus 2 by 5 meter per second square, because bigger mass is going down. So B for beautiful corona is the correct answer. Okay, correct answer is option B. Center of mass is only moving up and down, so that's why its acceleration comes out to be minus 2 by 5 meter per second square. Okay, टेंशन निकालने की ज़रूरत नहीं थी, हम ये भी कर सकते थे, यहाँ पे टेंशन लिख के दोनों की इक्वेशन लिख देते, इक्वेशंस को सिंप्लीफाई करते, उससे भी हमें यही एक्सेलरेशन मिलता g by 5. ओके 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 गाइस, awesome. Now comes to the chapter which is even more scarier than coronavirus for many of the students, that is rotation motion. Let's try to make it simpler. Let's try to find the cure of this chapter. हमें इस चैप्टर में मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शियाज पता होने चाहिए, उसके अलावा थियरम ऑफ पैरेलल एक्सिस. प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस थियरम ऑफ पैरेलल एक्सिस, ICM plus MD square, which is basically the gap between the two axes is D. ठीक है. Similarly, theorem of perpendicular axis, again another important thing that you should know. Radius of gyration under root of I by K, I by M. Okay, and when the body is rolling, it has translational kinetic energy plus rotational kinetic energy. Remember these things. You guys can take a screenshot of this thing. Okay. Okay, guys, let's go forward. Important moment of inertias. तो इसमें सबसे ज़्यादा important moment of inertias जो हैं, one is hollow sphere, then solid sphere. Hollow sphere is 2 by 3 mr square, solid sphere is 2 by 5 mr square, and yes, for the ring mr square, for a disc that is 1 by 2 mr square. Apart from that, the rod about one of the end, and the rod which is passing through the center, and for a plane lamina, that is 1 by 12 ma square plus b square. Okay, 1 by 12 m by 12 a square plus b square is basically the moment of inertia for the axis passing through the center perpendicular to the surface. Cool, guys, let's carry on. Now in this question we have a disc and we have a rod of length 2r. About this axis of rotation, this is our axis of rotation, we have to find out the moment of inertia. So moment of inertia for, say, disc, let's call this object as 1 and this object as 2. So this gap from the center is 2r. So I1 very simply is 1 by 2 mr square. दोनों के masses same दिए हुए हैं. I2 हम फाइंड आउट करेंगे, तो पहले रॉड के सेंटर से पास होने वाली एक्सिस के अबाउट मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया 1 by 12 ml स्क्वायर, बट L का वैल्यू 2r है एंड एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन शिफ्टेड बाय 2r, so m into 2r का स्क्वायर, this value comes out to be 4 mr square by 12 plus 4 mr square, so this cancels 3 times, so total moment of inertia is I1 plus I2. Okay, So that is 1 by 2 mr square plus mr square by 3 plus 4 mr square, which is 3 mr square plus 2 mr square plus 24 mr square, total divided by 6. So 24 plus 5 is 29 mr square by 6 is the total value of the moment of inertia, which is option C. Again, C for corona. Okay. Okay. कब तक चलेगा क्लास? अभी ग्रेविटेशन तक जाना है हमें, तो अभी तो रोटेशन चल रहा है. So expect at least half an hour, 45 minutes more. Okay guys. So यहाँ पे हमने पैरेलल एक्सिस थ्योरम लगाया. ये वाला रिंग रॉड का मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया फाइंड आउट करने के लिए हम लोगों ने पैरेलल एक्सिस थ्योरम लगाया है, और उससे पहले डिस्क का मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया हम लोगों ने यूज किया. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Read it once. Okay. So we have a triangular lamina given to us. Axis of rotation is also given. We have to find out the moment of inertia about the axis, say that is AB. AB is the name given to the axis of rotation. Okay guys. तो एक काम करते हैं गाइस, ये क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने के लिए इसे पहले एक स्क्वायर में कन्वर्ट कर लेते हैं. ऐसा एक स्क्वायर में मैंने उसे कन्वर्ट कर लिया, क्योंकि वो एक आइसोसेलेस ट्राइंगल है ना. तो मैंने उसे स्क्वायर में कन्वर्ट कर लिया. सो दिस इज L, सो दिस इज √2L, पाइथागोरस थ्योरम. तो √2L साइड और टोटल मास भी 4m हो जाएगा. ठीक है. जस्ट थिंक ऑफ दिस स्क्वायर लैमिना लाइक दिस. तो ये वाला मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया जो होता है ICM, वो हमें पता है, और ये I है और ये वाला भी I है. So we know that I plus I is equal to ICM by using perpendicular axis theorem. So I value will be ICM by 2. And what is ICM? ICM is 1 by 6 MA square. Total mass is 4m. You can see that total mass 4m हो जाएगा. Okay. And length कितना हो गया? √2L. तो उसका स्क्वायर करोगे तो 2L square. And this has to be divided by 2. So I का वैल्यू हमें मिल गया ICM by 2. So ये 2 कैंसिल कर देते हैं. We have 4 times 1 by 6 ml square as the moment of inertia of I. तो हमें I का वैल्यू मिल चुका है, which is basically the moment of inertia which is here as यहाँ पे 4I आ रहा होगा because 4 laminas हैं. So the answer that we were looking for, the one that we want, I final is basically I by 4, क्योंकि हमारे पास में इस लैमिना का 1/4 लैमिना ही अवेलेबल है. ओके. सो दैट वैल्यू इज 1 by 6 ml square. Understood guys? Yeah. C for corona once more. The correct answer is 1 by 6 ml square. Okay. हमने क्या किया, ये वाली जो एक्सिस थी, इन दोनों में से किसी एक का एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन के अबाउट मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया निकाल लिया और उसको 1/4 कर दिया. सो दैट इज 1 by 6 ml square. Okay. Cool. Next one guys, we have to find the tension in the string for the given figure. We have to find the tension in the string for the given figure here. So you can see that in this case, say some, just a minute guys. Yeah, the weight of the body is acting downward, so that is mg. Okay, and tension is acting over here, and this is where is your axis of rotation. So iske about you can see that mg is trying to rotate the system by clockwise direction and tension is trying to rotate it anti-clockwise. ठीक है. तो हम क्या करते हैं, दोनों के टॉर्क्स को इक्वेट कर देते हैं. तो यहाँ पे मैं क्या करता हूँ, ये जो एंगल है L और इसके बीच में वो 37 है, तो ये हो गया T sin 37 डिग्री. So t sine 37 degree is the one which is actually trying to rotate because of the tangential nature of the tension force. और t cos 37 तो rotate करेगा नहीं. Okay guys, and in this triangle, which this is 37 degree, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, so sine 37 degree क्या हो जाएगा? 3 by 5. Okay, so now torque clockwise should be equal to torque anti-clockwise. So clockwise torque is applied by mg. So mg acting at a distance l by 2 और 90 डिग्री पे भी लग रहा है, तो इसीलिए sin 90 नहीं लिख रहा हूँ. Anti-clockwise torque is provided by t sin theta. So that is t sin 37 degree is 3 by 5. So this is t sin theta. This is acting at a distance l, है ना? L distance पे लग रहा है. दोनों को इक्वेट करना है और हमें टेंशन का वैल्यू निकालना है. तो L कैंसिल कर देता हूँ एंड रीअरेंज करते हैं. 5 वहाँ जाएगा, 3 नीचे आएगा. सो आई हैव 5 by 6 mg. करेक्ट आंसर इज ऑप्शन बी. वेरी नाइस, ऑसम. Correct answer is 5 by 6 mg. Very good guys. Okay, moving on. Find the angular acceleration of the rod just after release. तो इस रॉड को अगर हम यहाँ से रिलीज करेंगे तो द रीजन फॉर इट टू कम डाउन इज बेसिकली द वेट ऑफ द बॉडी. तो mg की वजह से वो नीचे आ रहा है और उसमें भी रोटेशन ऑफ दिस पॉइंट इज लाइक दिस. तो mg का जो टेंजेंशियल कंपोनेंट है उसकी बात करते हैं. सो दिस इज 37 डिग्री, तो रोटेशन के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल इज mg sin 37 डिग्री. ओके, ये एंगल 37 डिग्री है. दिस इज also 37 degree. Sorry, this will be cos 37 degree here. Okay, है ना? यहाँ पे देखो ये mg था और ये 90 डिग्री है, तो ये हमें 37 डिग्री दिया हुआ है, तो ये 53 डिग्री हो जाएगा और ये फिर से 37 डिग्री हो जाएगा, तो ये cos कंपोनेंट होगा. सो mg cos 37 डिग्री इज द फोर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबल टू रोटेट द रॉड and this is L by 2 distance. So tau equal to I alpha use करेंगे. Tau is mg cos 37 degree acting at a distance of L by 2 equal to I alpha. Moment of inertia is 1 by 3 ml square into alpha, और alpha ही हमें पता लगाना है. Okay, so mg cos 37 degree, वहाँ sin 37 was 3 by 5, so this will be 4 by 5 into L by 2. This is ml square by 3 into alpha. So one L gets cancelled, m gets cancelled, and this 2 cancels this 2 times. So I have 2g by 5 equal to L by 3 alpha. So alpha from here looks like will be 6g by 5L. Do we have an option like that? 6g by 5L. Looks like the correct answer is option A. Okay, yes, awesome. I can see everybody is able to solve these questions. Very nice. Good response guys, very nice. Okay, let's come to the next question. This says that a block of 6 kg is tied with the disc, which is pulley here, and the disc is going to rotate as the block is going to come down. We have to find out the acceleration of the block. We know that the block will come down because of its 6g sin theta. Okay, and here force of tension is acting, and this tension is responsible for the rotation of the pulley. Okay, so if we write the equation for the block, it will be 6g sin theta minus t equal to 6a. Okay, but if I write the equation of torque for the pulley, then the torque is T into R is equal to I alpha. For the disc, the moment of inertia is half mr square, so 12 into r square into alpha, but alpha will be equal to A by R. Okay, so this is basically tau equal to I alpha that I am writing. So R cancels one R and the other R is cancelled by this R. So I have T equal to 6A. Let's put that T over here. So I have 6g sin theta minus 6a equal to 6a. Okay guys, so this 6a goes here, so I have 6g sine theta equal to 12a. So acceleration comes out to be 6g sine theta by 12, or simply g sine theta by 2. So what we do, for this we apply F equal to ma, and for this we apply tau equal to I alpha, and we use the two equations. And along with that, yes, remember A equal to alpha r is always valid, B equal to omega r is also. So these three equations is basically what you use for moving object, F equal to ma, for rotating object tau equal to I alpha, and A equal to alpha r to find out the value. Okay, correct answer option D. Nice guys. Okay, moving on to the next one. So this time a cylinder is having a mass m and has been suspended by two strings which are wrapped around the cylinder. So एक सिलेंडर के चारों तरफ हमने स्ट्रिंग को रैप किया हुआ है, उसे हैंग किया हुआ है, and then it is released from rest to start to roll downward. Okay, so as it is coming down, string is unwinding. We have to find the acceleration of the falling cylinder and the tension in the string. So this is basically 2t tension acting at a distance r and rotating like this, and this is mg. Okay, so again we'll do the same thing. We will try to write F equal to ma, tau equal to I alpha, and we'll try to write down A as alpha r. These two equations will be valid. A equal to alpha r will be valid here. So downward Ri body, so that's why mg minus T should be equal to, sorry, tension is double because two strings are there, so 2 ma use करना पड़ेगा, sorry 2t use करना पड़ेगा, mg minus 2t equal to ma, and torque is only provided by tension because this is the axis of rotation. So mg cannot rotate, only 2t can rotate. So 2t acting at a distance r should be equal to I alpha. Solid cylinder assume कर लेंगे, nothing is mentioned, so we'll assume it is solid cylinder. So m r square by 2 into alpha, and what is alpha? Alpha is a by r. So r square cancels this r and this r. So we have mg minus 2t equal to ma, and we have 2t equal to ma by 2. Let's add these two equations. 2t gets cancelled. We have mg equal to ma plus ma by 2, which is 3 ma by 2. So m gets cancelled and acceleration comes out to be 2 by 3g. That's what is our correct answer, 2 by 3g, and we don't even have to solve the other part because there is only one option with that acceleration. Though you can find out that value, tension पता लगा सकते हैं. 2t is ma by 2. Okay, so 2t equal to ma by 2, so t का value will be ma by 4, m by 4, acceleration is 2g by 3, so this gives you mg by 6. Okay everyone, yeah, let's move on. Okay, in the next one we have a rod which is released from horizontal position. We have to find out the angular velocity when it becomes vertical. So when the rod will reach here, its center will reach here, center where the center of mass is acting. So if I call this position as A, this position as B, we can say that this is the height at which it was initially, which is L by 2, है ना. इनिशियली L by 2 हाइट पे था और अब यहाँ पे आ गया, और जब यहाँ पहुँचा है तो उसने कुछ एंगुलर वेलोसिटी ओमेगा गेन कर ली है. तो सिंपली लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एनर्जी, एनर्जी एट ए शुड बी इक्वल टू एनर्जी एट बी. ए पे बॉडी इज एट रेस्ट बट एट अ हाइट ऑफ L by 2. ठीक है, तो पोटेंशियल एनर्जी विल बी m g L by 2, काइनेटिक एनर्जी 0. जब B पे पहुंचे तो पोटेंशियल एनर्जी 0 एंड काइनेटिक एनर्जी इज हाफ I ओमेगा स्क्वायर. यही ओमेगा हमें पता लगाना है. सो mg L by 2 इज इक्वल टू हाफ रॉड का मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया 1/3 ml स्क्वायर ओमेगा स्क्वायर. So 2 gets cancelled M looks like gets cancelled, one L gets cancelled. We have G equal to L by 3 omega square, which means omega का value आएगा 3G by L in under root. Okay guys, so under root of 3G by L, that means option B is the correct answer. Yes, very nice. Okay, awesome. Now this one is a simple one based on law of conservation of angular momentum. I1 omega 1 should be equal to I2 omega 2. Earlier a disk is only rotating. ये situation है. Earlier there is only a single disk rotating, so its angular momentum is initially is I1 omega 1. Okay, this is I1 omega 1 and this is I2 omega 2. And now we have to find out what will be the new angular velocity when you are placing a mass on the turntable. Okay. So पहले जो moment of inertia है, that is half mr square, and omega is omega, 1 is omega naught, and I2 is half mr square plus small mr square into omega 2, और omega 2 हमें find out करना है. ओके गाइस, सो r स्क्वायर तो थ्रू आउट कैंसिल हो रहा है क्योंकि हमने उस पार्टिकल को भी एट अ डिस्टेंस r रखा है. सो वी हैव m बाई 2 ओमेगा नॉट इक्वल टू m प्लस 2m बाई 2 इंटू ओमेगा 2. तो इस 2 को हम कैंसिल कर सकते हैं. सो व्हाट डू वी गेट हियर? वी गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ ओमेगा 2. ओमेगा 2 कम्स आउट टू बी m बाई m प्लस 2 ओमेगा into omega naught. Okay, so just correcting the option here, m by 2m. Okay, यहाँ पे 2m आना चाहिए, डिनोमिनेटर m plus 2m आ जाएगा. करेक्ट आंसर इज ऑप्शन ए. ओके, why it is not ml square by 12? आई थिंक प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन में किसी को डाउट है. हमने यहाँ पे 1/3 ml स्क्वायर इसलिए यूज किया क्योंकि एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन यहाँ पे है. ये है एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन. अगर एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन ए पे होती तो 1/12 ml स्क्वायर यूज किया होता. ओके, ओके, सो मैंने ऑप्शन करेक्ट किया है गाइस. करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ए ओनली, बट वहां पे डिनोमिनेटर में m प्लस 2m आएगा. परफेक्ट. ओके गाइस, लास्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर रोटेशन आई गेस, या उसके बाद में ग्रेविटेशन पे जाएंगे. So a force F is applied tangentially at the topmost point of a sphere of mass m. So it's a sphere. एक F force लगाया हमने, and if the ground is rough enough to prevent sliding, then find the linear acceleration of the sphere here. Okay, so यहाँ से एक friction force लग रहा है, and the object is rotating about the center of mass. And if it is accelerating with an acceleration a, and angular acceleration is alpha. So again we have to find out the linear acceleration. Always remember F equal to ma, tau equal to I alpha, and assuming no sliding, already given here, so a will be equal to alpha r. This will also be valid. Okay, perfect. So linear acceleration के लिए forward force is F, backward force is small f. So capital F minus small f should be equal to mass into acceleration. This is F equal to ma. अब टॉर्क देखते हैं. टॉर्क तो दोनों ही फोर्सेस लगा रहे हैं, एट अ डिस्टेंस r लग रहे हैं. सो F इंटू आर. अच्छा देखो, इंपॉर्टेंट बात यह है कि ये भी क्लॉकवाइज रोटेट करने का कोशिश कर रहा है, और फ्रिक्शन इज ऑल्सो ट्राइंग टू रोटेट क्लॉकवाइज. दोनों ही उसे क्लॉकवाइज रोटेट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. सो दोनों के टॉर्क ऐड हो जाएंगे. ओके, रिमेंबर दिस पार्ट. दोनों जो हैं दे आर ट्राइंग टू रोटेट द ऑब्जेक्ट इन द सेम सेंस. सो दैट्स व्हाई द सेंस ऑफ रोटेशन इज टेलिंग अस दैट द torque should be added, should be equal to I alpha. Now because it is a solid sphere, so 2 by 5 mr square into alpha, and alpha we can write it as a by r. Okay, so this this r and this r are cancelling this r square. So we have f plus small f equal to 2 by 5 m, and the other equation is written on the top. Changing the color here. So this small f gets cancelled. F plus f is 2f equal to ma plus 2 by 5 ma. That is 7 by 5 ma. Excuse me. So acceleration value from here comes out to be 10f by 7m. Answer is option C. Okay. नहीं, फ्रिक्शन का डायरेक्शन वही रहेगा. रीजन बीइंग, ये फोर्स जो है बॉडी को राइट साइड पे स्लाइड करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, तो ये बॉटम मोस्ट पॉइंट पे राइट साइड स्लाइड होना चाहता है, तो फ्रिक्शन लेफ्ट साइड पे लगेगा. फ्रिक्शन का डायरेक्शन बैकवर्ड ही है. okay? नहीं होगा उल्टा, इसी डायरेक्शन में होगा फ्रिक्शन. okay? Okay guys, coming to gravitation now. Important formula related to gravitation. Law of gravitation सबको पता है, g m1 m2 by r square. Value of g with height, remember this. The variation with depth, 1 minus d by r, where d is the depth. Escape velocity formula, under root 2 gm by r. Orbital velocity का formula, under root of gm by small r. Okay, this is for satellite. Okay, okay guys. Gravitational potential, just like electrostatic potential, minus gm by r. Gravitational potential outside a shell is minus gm by r. For a shell it is inside as constant minus gm by capital R. So till surface it is constant, after that it varies inversely with r. Okay guys. Now important ones, variation of g with height. Remember this is valid only when you have height very smaller than r. Then you can use this gh as g1 minus 2h by r, and similarly you can use the variation with depth as g1 minus d by r. This is valid for any case, यहाँ कोई approximation नहीं है, but in the first case the approximation is there, please remember that. Okay, so this is g1 minus d by r, and this is g1 minus 2h by r. Okay. Okay guys, now let's have a look at the question. Find the height of the point vertically above the earth's surface at which the acceleration due to gravity becomes 1% of its value of at the surface. तो देखो यार, यहाँ पे जो वैल्यू है वो g है, और ये g by 100 हो जाना चाहिए. According to it, it should become g by 100. So obviously h will be very greater than r, or rather h is comparable to r. ये वाला मेथड अब हमें अज्यूम नहीं करना चाहिए, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट वेरी लाइकली कि हाइट बहुत कम होगी आर के कंपैरिजन में. ओके, सो एट सरफेस इट इज जी एम बाय आर स्क्वायर, एंड नाउ द जी वैल्यू हैज बिकम जी एम बाय आर प्लस एच का स्क्वायर, विच इज गिवन टू अस एज जी बाय 100. ओके गाइस, सो जी एम बाय आर प्लस एच का स्क्वायर, मैंने वो फॉर्मूला, ये वाला फॉर्मूला यूज नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बिकॉज ये तभी वैलिड है जब ये कंडीशन गिवन हो. तो इस कंडीशन को तो कुछ बोला नहीं है, ऑप्शंस भी बता रहे हैं कि एच इज कंपेरेबल टू आर और बिगर देन दैट. सो दिस स्मॉल जी, दिस इज जी डैश, सो जी डैश इज इक्वल टू जी एम बाय आर प्लस एच का स्क्वायर, and small g का value at surface was gm by r square, and उसका 1 by 100 करना है हमें. So gm cancel हो जाता है, so we have r plus h square equal to 100 r square, which means अगर हम square root ले लेते हैं तो r plus h is equal to 10 r, r comes here, h का value comes out to be 9 r. So you can see that मैंने approximation use नहीं किया, वो formula use नहीं किया, वो use करेंगे तो हमारा आंसर गलत आएगा. Why? Because that this formula is only valid when the height of the body, or height at which you are calculating small g, is very close. Okay. Okay, correct answer is option B. Okay. Next one. Assuming the Earth to be a sphere of uniform mass density, how much would be a body's weight halfway down the center of the Earth if it has weight of 25 Newton on the surface? Okay. So guys, the value of G is gm by r square on the surface और mg का वैल्यू जो है वो हमें दिया हुआ है 250 न्यूटन. ठीक है. अब g डैश जो है वो g1 माइनस डी बाई आर होता है. ये देखो 1 माइनस डी बाई आर. तो d का वैल्यू हमें दिया हुआ है एज r बाई 2. हाफ ऑफ द डिस्टेंस पे जा रहे हैं, हाफ वे डाउन द सेंटर टू द अर्थ. दिस इज हाफ. So this value is g by 2. G dash becomes g by 2, matlab mg dash should become mg by 2. And how much is given as mg is 250. So बहुत ही simple, 250 by 2. This value comes out to be 125 Newton. Okay guys, बहुत ही simple था. G dash का value निकालना था. Correct answer is option B. Okay, awesome. Now this one is based upon Kepler's law of planetary motion, which says that third law says that t square is proportional to r cube. The period of revolution, this is called law of period of revolution is proportional to the cube of the distance of semi major axis. Okay guys, so question says what will be the new period of rotation of the earth, in fact revolution of the earth around sun, if the distance between earth and sun is doubled. So t2 by t1 square should be equal to r2, which is 2r, distance को double कर रहे हैं, by r, इसका cube. So this becomes 2q, and t2 by t1 can be written as 2 to the power 3 by 2, and 2 to the power 3 by 2 is given to us as 2.8. So this is 2.8. So t2 is 2.8 times t1, which is 2.8 multiplied by 365. So जब ये simplify करेंगे तो roughly this value comes out to be 1032 days. ठीक है. Obviously distance बढ़ गया है तो duration of year भी बढ़ जाएगा. So 1032 days का revolution time जाएगा if the distance between earth and sun becomes double its present value. Okay. Okay guys, next one, we have to compare the orbital speed of two satellites if the ratio of their period is 8:1. So orbital speed का formula है under root of g m by r, and we know that t square is proportional to r cube. So r is proportional to t to the power 2 by 3, which means what? V is proportional to 1 upon r to the power half, can be written as proportional to t to the power 2 by 3 power half. r की जगह पे ये replace कर दिया हमने, t to the power 2 by 3. So this 2 and this 2 gets cancelled. So v is basically proportional to 1 upon t to the power 1 by 3 cube root. So v1 by v2 is basically t2 by t1 power 1 by 3. So t1 by t2 is 8:1. So this is 1:8 power 1 by 3, and 8 is the cube of 2. So this ratio comes out to be 1:2. Okay guys, this was t1 is to t2. So t2 is to t1 जो है, that value comes out to be, yes, 1 by 8. So 1:2. Correct answer is option A. Very nice. Okay. Okay guys, I guess now this one is our almost towards the end type of question. Now in this question we have three objects which are at rest and are separated by a distance a. So when we release them, they will start moving towards each other. So what will be their velocities once the masses gap reduces to a by 2? Okay. So guys, whatever is the kinetic energy, that should be equal to the loss of potential energy, है ना? So kinetic energy will be 3 masses of half mv square. Initially तो rest है, so no kinetic energy initially. And change in potential energy, I will write it as initial minus final, because initially the potential energy was more, finally was less. I'm just writing it the positive value. Okay, so initially the potential energy is 3g m1 m2 by a, and finally it becomes 3g m1 m2 by a by 2. Okay guys, so 3 तो cancel हो जाता है throughout. What do we have as half mv square equal to gm square by a. Okay, okay, mistake. That potential energy is minus g m1 m2 by r. So यहाँ minus sign आना था और ये plus होना चाहिए था. So this becomes g m square by a with a minus sign plus 2 g m square by a. So this is g m square by a only. Okay, so taking this space here, half mv square is equal to gm square by a. M gets cancelled. V square आ रहा है 2gm by a. So V is under root of 2gm by a. That is option B. Okay. Okay, guys. So the correct answer is option B. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. I hope you guys were able to solve questions with me. This brings us to the end of the marathon session on mechanics. Okay. Hope you guys were able to solve the question and were able to understand the concepts along with me. Okay. Some of the questions are previous year questions as well. Yes. Okay. Okay. Very nice. So guys, keep continue with your preparation. Do subscribe to the channel. If you guys had fun with me today, then yes, do like the video as well. Share with your friends. Let them also take the advantage. Okay. Let your friends also prepare along with you in this difficult times when you cannot step out of your house. You cannot usually go out to your classes to study there. So do not worry. Vedantu is there to help you all